3.5 years now, I put together and sent off a file to get our pigeon tower classified. Just the facade, not the inside, because there's not an awful lot to see in the inside. Why did I do this? Because I think it's a pretty unique monument. As far as I know, it's the only one with 16 sides. And I did it because, well, several reasons. Well, one of them is its uniqueness. The second one is because before my parents bought it, it had been subjected to years and years of neglect, and it was in a pretty poor shape when they got it. And they'd done a lot of work on it. And they've done work in such a way that it looks as though nothing had ever happened to it, which is a feat. And I'll show you pictures of it in a minute. Pictures of it, the state of its roof when they bought it, and what it's looking like at the moment. So I was warned back then when I sent off this file that it might take up to 5 years to see the end of the procedure. And just a few weeks ago, I was told that someone was going to come by and have a look at it, because obviously you don't treat this sort of file from a distance. You have to come and have a look at the document, at the monument. And so the week after next, someone is coming to have a look at it, and I'll be there to explain the case. And so we've been clearing up a lot outside, in front of the house, in front of the pigeon tower. We've cut up all the wood. We're making it look pretty and neat to set it off to its best advantage. That's what we've been busy at lately. And I hope it'll pay off, but there's no guarantee. I mean, she might say, yeah, well, it's a pigeon tower, and there are any number of pigeon towers. Yes, it has 16 sides. Yes, it's the only one we know with 16 sides, but that's not a reason to classify it. There's always that risk, but you know, that's just what it's like. It wouldn't be the end of the world anyway. Because with a full-blown classification, you do have the disadvantage, let's say, that if you do want to do work on the pigeon tower, it has to be with the aid of professionals who are listed to do the work you want them to do. So you can't just choose your own craftsman. I would go as far as saying that the ones they recommend are a good deal more expensive than the ones we might choose, because they're real specialists. However, the facade of the pigeon tower, which is what I would like to get classified, it's fine. There's nothing we want to do on it, and we wouldn't want to touch the outside anyway, because it's perfect as it is. And so there's no big risk there. Another motive for classifying the pigeon tower is that we don't know what the countryside around the house will look like in 10, 20, 50 years. I mean, no one knows, obviously, but at the moment it's very much countryside with very little housing. And at the moment there is a lot of talk of rearranging which parts of the countryside are going to be used in the future for building. So I haven't looked into it properly yet, but I just thought, you know, if we do get it classified, then you can't just go building any buildings, really, not for a certain number of meters immediately around the classified monument. So that would be an advantage, because it looks lovely the way it is at the moment, with no houses around, except ours, of course, but that's in the same style. And on that point, I do have to stress that the ensemble of the chateau, the pigeon tower, and the little loo building behind the chateau, they just go so beautifully together. It would almost be worth trying to ask if all three could be classified together. Once again, just the facade, but I might bring it up with the lady who comes, who knows. But yeah, that would entail the risk I mentioned before, bearing in mind that for any work we did get done, 50% of the cost would be covered by the state, which is a very good thing. It's not all bad by any means. It's an unbelievably misty morning here. Usually when there's this amount of mist in the morning at Moraville, it means the afternoon is going to be very sunny. But this video was made at around midday It's now almost 2 o'clock, so we're not holding our breath. Now, as you can see, the inside is completely round, and it's only the outside where the 16 sides become apparent. And if you think about it, this was, for the 1600s, a real feat, building a monument like this without any modern equipment. I think they were playing it by ear quite a lot, but just imagine how skilled the craftsmen were. And this is what I was mentioning earlier, that the ensemble is just so lovely. At least the chateau itself and the pigeon tower are built in exactly the same style. The only thing that's missing on the Lou building is these varnished black burned bricks. Apart from that, everything is built in exactly the identical style, with the white stones, the red, or let's say orange bricks, and the black ones, which represent these little croisillons, they're called, so little crosses with lozenge shapes in the middle. It's very beautiful, especially when there's a bit of sun and these bricks shine, they gleam. So I had to include a lot of footage of our lovely daffodils. As you can see, we love daffodils. They're very jolly, especially on a rather bleak day like this. And yes, that's what we're doing right now, preparing for this lady's visit. As soon as I know more, I will tell you what happened, what she decided, or if she decided anything. It might last another 6 months or 1 year, who knows. I will be trying to clear up our hall, our entrance hall, to maybe present it as a set for a film. As I said, the staircase is pretty monumental and old, and I think it's certainly worth a try. Plus, we are at the moment looking at different solutions to keep our lawn in check, because if we only rely on the one lawnmower, my brothers spend literally days and days mowing the grass. It's not just the lawn, it's the horses' fields that has to be mown as well from time to time. It's Normandy, it's just things grow so fast. So I've decided to try and rent a few sheep, and we'll see how that goes. And yes, I've been putting out few videos at the moment, but it's also not a competition with other chateau owners, because if it were the case, I admit defeat immediately. We're not competing. I only really put a video out there when I have something to show. But I'll see you next week, and hopefully spring is arriving at your place too. See you.